You walk into McDonald's, you order a burger, you pay. Simple, right? Well, not exactly, because here's what nobody tells you. The person who just took your order, they're making around $10 an hour. The fryer guy in the back? Same. The cashier smiling at you through the drive-thru window? Pretty much the same. Around $10 an hour. Now, here's the number that should make your jaw drop. McDonald's made $7.5 billion last year, not from burgers, from rent. That's right. The company that sells you a $5 burger is secretly one of the biggest landlords in America. And while many of their workers are trying to make ends meet, McDonald's is sitting on a real estate empire worth over $40 billion. Sounds crazy, right? Well, it gets even crazier, because this is the story nobody talks about. Let's go back to 1954. A 52-year-old milkshake machine salesman named Ray Kroc walks into a burger joint in California. The place is spotless. The burgers come out fast. The whole system runs like a machine. He meets the owners, two brothers named Richard and Maurice McDonald. Now, most people would have just seen a successful restaurant, but Ray Kroc saw something much bigger. He saw a system that could be copied again and again across America. So Kroc makes a deal. He'll franchise the McDonald's name across the country. At first, everything sounds great. More locations, more customers, more growth. But there was one big problem. The franchise fees were tiny. McDonald's was only making about 1.4% of every location's revenue. So even though the company was growing, Kroc wasn't making much money. In fact, he was struggling. The more locations he opened, the more pressure he felt. He needed money, and honestly, things weren't looking great. Then one day, a financial executive named Harry Sonborn walked through his door, and Harry shared an idea that would completely change McDonald's forever. He said something that sounded simple, but it would become one of the smartest business moves in history. He said, "We are not technically in the food business. We are in the real estate business." Think about that for a second. McDonald's wasn't supposed to think like a restaurant company. It was supposed to think like a landlord. And that one idea changed everything. So how does this whole thing actually work? It's actually pretty simple. Let me show you. Step 1. McDonald's finds an amazing location. Busy intersections, shopping areas, highway exits, places where thousands of people pass every day. They spend a lot of time studying traffic, population growth, and customer behavior. They want the best locations possible. Step 2. McDonald's buys the land, or buys the building. Now, here's where things get interesting. A franchise owner comes along and says, "I want to open a McDonald's." And McDonald's says, "Great, you can use our building, you can use our land, but you're going to pay us rent every month for years, sometimes decades." And that's not all. McDonald's also charges royalties on sales. So every burger sold, every order of fries, every Happy Meal, McDonald's gets a cut. Now, here's the genius part. When McDonald's buys a property, they often lock in their costs. But the rent they charge can increase over time. So while their expenses stay relatively stable, their income keeps growing. Year after year, location after location. It's like a money machine hiding behind a fast food counter. Today, McDonald's owns roughly 45% of the land and around 70% of the buildings across its restaurants worldwide. And more than 60 cents of every dollar McDonald's makes comes from rent and royalties. Not from burgers, not from fries, not from soft drinks. Think about that. The food brings people in, but the real money comes from the system behind it. Okay. Now let's look at the numbers, because this is where things start sounding unbelievable. McDonald's real estate portfolio is worth over $40 billion. That's already massive. But here's the part that really stands out. Last year alone, McDonald's collected about $7.5 billion in net rental income. Just rent. Not burgers, not fries, not drinks. Rent.
think about how much money that is. While thousands of franchise owners are managing employees, buying supplies, and dealing with day-to-day problems, McDonald's is collecting rent checks. And the profits are huge. Their operating margins on franchised restaurants are around 82%. That means for every $100 they collect from franchisees, about $82 becomes operating profit. Compare that to running a restaurant yourself. Margins there can be much lower. And that's exactly why about 95% of McDonald's locations are franchised. McDonald's figured something out. Let someone else handle most of the hard work.
You collect the rent. Now, while all of this is happening at the top, the workers making the food are earning around $10 to $16 an hour in many parts of America. Some states pay more. California pushed fast food wages much higher, but across much of the country, many workers still earn around $10 to $14 an hour. That's roughly $20,000 to $28,000 a year. Meanwhile, McDonald's collected billions in rental income. The difference is hard to ignore. But here's the thing. McDonald's isn't the only company with a hidden business model. A lot of successful companies make their biggest money somewhere people don't expect. The product you see isn't always the real business. Sometimes it's the system underneath. Think about it. Many people think McDonald's became rich because it sells burgers. And yes, burgers matter, but burgers alone don't explain a real estate empire worth tens of billions of dollars. The genius of McDonald's is that most customers never notice what's happening behind the scenes. They see a restaurant. McDonald's sees property. Customers see a Big Mac. McDonald's sees rent. Customers see fries. McDonald's sees long-term cash flow. Every time a franchisee pays rent, McDonald's earns money. Every time a franchisee signs a long lease, McDonald's locks in future income. And every time customers buy food, franchise owners generate the revenue needed to keep paying rent. The customer feeds the franchisee pays McDonald's, and the system keeps running. So next time you pull up to a McDonald's drive-thru, take a second and think about what's really happening. The employee handing you that bag might be earning around $10 an hour, but the company behind that window owns billions of dollars worth of real estate, a company that collected billions in rental income last year, a company whose own financial leaders openly said it was really in the real estate business. The golden arches aren't just a logo. They're the symbol of one of the smartest business models ever created. And the burgers? Well, the burgers are what most people see. But behind the burgers, behind the fries, behind the Happy Meals, there's a real estate empire quietly collecting rent. Most people think McDonald's became rich by selling burgers. Now you know there's a lot more to the story. And once you see it, you can't really unsee it. If this video changed the way you look at McDonald's, share it with someone who still thinks it's just a fast food company. Because sometimes the biggest business secrets are hiding in plain sight.